Hello, guys, and welcome to part two of drafting the front of our Italian pattern of our dart pattern. All right, so this is a dart pattern, and we had done the back in the previous class, and we're going to be doing the front. I mean, once you get the back right, the front is fast. It looks a bit complicated, but it's very easy. All right, I've done this for over 10 years, and I can tell you this. All right, so my name is Nita, as usual, your physical and online instructor. Welcome to our class for today. This is a Macadel Fashion TV, and this is the Macadel online class. All right, so let's dive right into it. Okay, so first of all, I'll just quickly explain how I go about drafting my front. Most people will just go over here and start because the book says begin with top right corner of the square. This is point A, meaning you just come here and create. There are other ways to do this, but that's more advanced. I want to show you the quickest and shortest easy way for you, a beginner, or to get this done easily. Okay, so what I do, I skip all of this and just come down to my C to C2. Don't get confused, just listen, go back, watch this video, and you understand what I am saying. Okay, so when you come to the front part, skip everything here. Now what I'm going to show you is going to make you even complete every other thing and makes it very easy. So come to C to C2, okay, and C to C2 says 1/4 bust circumference plus 1 cm plus ease allowance. Don't forget that we had included whatever ease allowance you had put at the back, you need to actually put it as well at the front so that you don't run into issues. If you didn't use any ease allowance at the back, don't use any at the front, okay? But we did use it. So we had used 1.7 for our bust circumference, the ease allowance for the bust. So we're now going to take C to C2. Don't forget, I said go down for the front to C to C2. And take 1/4 bust circumference plus 1 cm plus 1.7. Okay, so I'll keep this and we will jump right into it. Okay, so I need to rule the lines first, and then I'll change it to a red marker to help us with every other thing. Okay, so we'll now go back and check on our table what the bust circumference is, and it is 84. Okay, so it says 84 divided by 4 plus, this time around for the front is plus 1 plus ease allowance, which we did 1.7. okay, so we have 23.7. all right, so I'm going to come to C. Remember, I said it's C. We're working with C to C2. We have 23.7. Now place your tape from where you have your C1. Please follow what I'm doing. I'm looking for 23.7. So 23.5.6.7. all right, and I'll mark a dot where that is. Okay, and I'll call that C. all right, now I'm going to take a measurement of this whole. You can actually extend your line at once. So let's do this. I'm going to extend my line. Please make sure that you're having the same thing. Don't just extend the line. Remember, I did markings in mine. So whatever I have from here to here is the same thing I'm having from here to here. Now, once you've done that, take a measurement of the whole line from that C point to make sure that it's exactly from the C point to the end, like C to C. So now we're taking a measurement from C to this C. So I have 45.6. Now I'm going to make sure that all my lines are 45.6. My D line, my E line, my F line, and my A line are going to be 45.6. You can write it down somewhere so that you don't forget it. Okay, so just watch what I'm going to do. So I'm going to now come here and start making sure that all my line measurements here is 45.6. That's just what I'm doing. So once I'm sure, I'll just mark a dot at that point. Okay, I'll come here to my D. So I'm doing it for everything. once I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is extend all the lines to the dot I did. Now, once you're done with that, you're now going to close up the whole line. Okay, so once you're done, you now start labeling them because you've automatically done everything. Okay, so here we're going to be having our F, that's your dress length. Here we have our E, that's your hip depth. Here we have our D, that's your waistline, and here you have your A. Have you seen that you've automatically done a whole lot of things? I will show you. So now dealing with the front, I'm going to, so this is our front, F-R-O-N-T. All right, so we're working with the front now. So the next thing, coming to the front, it says A to C, A to C. I mean, ticket. Haven't you seen? You've already done it. A to C is done by that act that we did. Okay. Now it says A to D, back waist length. I mean, it's been done. So you tick it. It's been done. Right? It now says D to A1. It's not been done. Because this is D, but we don't have A1. So we now check what it says we should do. So it says D to A1, front waist length. Come to your table of contents. Under your size you're working with and look for your front waist length. In my own case, it is 43.9. And since it says D to A1, so your measurement starts from D and goes up. All right. So mine says 41.40 front waist length, 43.9. All right. So from D, I'll come up 43.9. Okay, I'll mark it. What I usually do, I'll come here and mark the same thing because I will need it later. I'll mark the same 43.9 so that when I need it, I mean, I just like doing that. Okay, so what you do, you extend your line upwards at that point. So here we have A1. Okay, have you seen that? So we have A1 at that point. So we now quickly come. Now it says A to B, A1 to B. We now have A1 and it says A1 to B. 1/6 of size plus 1. That's your neckline depth. And size is what? Is 40. So we have 40 divided by 6 and it says plus 1. Plus 1. Okay, so we have 7.66. So we have 7.7, right? So we're going to come down from A1. I'll come down 7.7. So you're going to call that B, and that is 7.7. So the next thing it says is D to E, right? We have done all of that. That act you did all of that. And the next thing it says A to F, you have also done that. So the next thing it says is A1 to G, you haven't done that. Now remember that this is our A1 and G is coming this way. And it says A1 to G, 1/6 of size. That's starting point of shoulder length. Okay, 1/6 of size. So we're going to take 40 divided by 6, and that is 6.6, which is 6.7. So I'm going to just draw a line to aid us, not too much, but just until I need to extend it. Okay, so I'm going to look for 6.7. okay, and now the next thing you're to do here is not, so what they rather said was that is with the curve connect points G to B1 to B, but they didn't tell you how to get B1, but it's in the book. Okay, so all what you do is So listen to this part because it's not in your book. Like, it's not explained to you, but whatever is in the book, I'll let you know. Okay, so whatever you have here from A1 to G, which is 6.7, make sure that where your B is, you also have 6.7 and just mark a dot. Okay, 6.6, 6.7, mark a dot. And here you had 7.7 A1 to B. Make sure that here, all what you're trying to do is just to make sure that you have a straight a square that is actually correct. 7.7, you also mark it, and then close up, and then close it up. Just do what I'm doing. Okay, that's all. So once you do this, look at your book. You're going to see a line that goes this way. Also make sure that you have that line. All right, so once you have that, the book says 1/6 of size plus 0.5. Now it says to get your B1, you're going to do 1/6 of size. Size is 40 divided by 6 plus 0.5. So you have 7.1. Now this 7.1, you're going to measure it starting from A down. All right, so I'll just place my tape and find 7.1. all right, that is your B1. That's how you get your B1. Now it says take a curve, place it, and connect G to B1 to B. Okay, so just try and fit in your curve. It will fit in, just like I've done, just like so. All right, and then connect it. That's all. So that is ready. Okay, so let's move on. The next one says A1 to H. A1 to H, you're coming this way, and it says 1/2 of back width minus 1. So go back to your table and look for your back width for a size, for whatever size you're working with. So mine is 35.4. okay, so I'll come here, I'll put in 35.4 divided by 2 minus 1. Right, let me just be sure that that's what it said. Yeah, minus 1, and we have 16.7. So from A1 coming towards me, you're going to find 16.7. So we have 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Okay, so I'll just extend my line to that part, make a dot and write there H. Now come down just like we did to the back. On this your C line, make the same measurement, 16.7. okay, so I'll just come here, I'll mark 16.7 like so, and I'll write I under it. Have you seen that? Just do that and keep it there. So the next one says C to C2. This is it. We've already done that. Now, so just come here where this your dot of C1 is. On this side, right here, C2. Have you seen that? Because we have already done that. The next thing it says D to D2. That is, we're trying to find your waist for the front. Okay. Now it says 1/4 of waist circumference plus 1 plus ease allowance plus 3 cm. So now let's go to the table. What is our waist circumference? It is 64. All right. So we're going to take 64 divided by 4 plus 1 plus ease allowance. Remember, we used 0.5 as our ease allowance, plus 3 inches for your dart. Sorry, 3 cm for your dart. So we have 20.5. Okay. So come here. It says from D. Every measurement for the front starts from here. So from D, we're going to come in 20.5. all right, so this is my 20.5 here. I'll mark it and I'll write there D2. okay, yeah, so I have there D2. okay, so the next thing it says is E to E2, 1/4 of hip circumference plus 1 plus ease allowance. Now let's go back and check what is our hip circumference for the size you're working with. Mine is 90, right? So I'll take 90 divided by 4 plus 1 plus 0.5, which is our ease allowance, and I have 24. Okay, so I'll come here to my E. Remember, all our measurements start from here. It may cross depending on how big or how small the person is. Don't bother yourself. Like now, it has crossed. Okay, so don't be bothered. You know, we'll copy this out. So it's here. This is where my 24 is, and there's nothing wrong with it. So I'll write there E2. Okay, so I have my E2 at that point. I have my E1 on this other side. All right, so my E2 is here. Now whatever I have here, I have to come down here and do the same thing. So I have 24 there. I'll come here also. I just want you to see this. Okay, so I'll come here as well, and I'll mark my 24. Okay, and this is my F2. All right, so I have my F1 on this side and I have my F2 on this side. Okay, so the next thing it says is F to F2, same measurement as E to E2. Then join point C2 to D2. Look at this. C2 is here to D2. Okay, and join points E2 to F2 with a straight rule. Look at this. Don't get confused. It crossed in. It's even a good thing so that you understand what we are doing. Nothing will happen because you're going to be copying this pattern out. So where you're seeing this red line is going to be your front. Where the back, the black line is, it is your back. Okay. And it now says join points D1 to D2 to E2 with a curve. Remember what we did here. Just look at this. We kept this curve this way when we were doing this. All what you need to do is just flip it this way to do this from your E D2 to E2. Okay, so I'll just have you seen that. So I have this. So this is the side seam for the front. So that's the side seam for the front. So the red you're seeing is the front and the black you're seeing is the back. Okay, so let's move on quickly. So the next thing it says is H to I. H to I is perpendicular to C. We had done that, right? This was what we did. So all what you need to do is take your ruler and just connect the lines. That's it. So I just connected the lines. So the next thing it says is H to L. H to L. You're going to square down 7.5. Now, watch this well. So I'm coming down from here 7.5 cm and I'll call it L, right? But once I do this, I'll use a pencil to show you this. I always try to draw a line, a straight line, and leave it there. Please just always do this because it will just help you. What you don't need later, you clean it off. I'm doing it like this because I'll clean it off. So you just draw a straight line and leave it there. Okay, so the next thing it says is G to L1. You have G, but you don't have L1. So it says G to L1. Now G to L1, measure the shoulder length G to L1 on the back bodies. Front and back should be the same length. Connect the 2 points. So I'm going to measure this. So whatever we have here, come here and measure your G to L1 of the back. Okay, so I'll place my tape and I'll take a measurement of this. And I have 12.5. Okay, I always like writing it down. So 12.5. Now here I'm going to do 12.5, but please watch this. I want the 12.5 to be on this line that we drew, this particular line. So I'll take my 12.5, I'll place my tape here and try to place the 12.5 on the line. It has to stay on this line and it is just here. So this is my L1. I'll take my ruler and extend that line. So that is it there. All right. So the next one, it says A1 to N, right? We have connected the 2 points like they said. So now we're saying A1. A1 is up and you're going down to N. That is the bust height. So you quickly come to the table and look for the bust height. Bust height for the size I'm working with is 26, right? So from A1, you're going to measure down 26, okay? And you're going to mark. So that is your N. And I'll come here also and just mark the 26 somewhere close by, not too far from where I marked the first one, okay? So that's it. I'll just do a dot and keep it there. So the next thing it says N to N1. This is N to N1. You're coming in towards me. And it says that's the breast distance. So I'll go back to the table and look for the breast distance divided by 2. And the breast distance I'm working with is 17, right? So it says 17 divided by 2. And I have 8.5. So I'll come here, place my tape again and look for where 8.5 is, and it's here. So once I find it, I will draw a line to that point. Okay. I just want it to be equal. So this is it. So here I have my N1. Can you see that? Okay. So once we are done, we move back. It says G to G1. We have G here. This is our G. And it says to G1. We don't know where that is, but we are coming towards this way. And it says, starting at point G, move to the left towards L1. 1 over 10 of size plus 0.5. So we know that size I'm working with is 40 divided by 10. We have 40 divided by 10 plus 0.5, and we have 4.5. Okay, so that means from G will come towards L 4.5. So I'll mark 4.5. Okay, and that is our G1. All right, so I've written there G1. Okay, so the next thing it says is G1 to G to G1. We're going to be coming to G2. Square up 1.6 on right angles. All what you need to do is place your ruler this way. Find on this straight line. Look for a straight line on your ruler and place it like this. If you're using a tape, right, just place the tape on the line this way, the way I'm doing. That is your right angle, and mark your 1.6. All right, so I'll use the ruler because I just want to mark 1.6 at once. So I'll just place it straight to the line and I'll mark 1.5, 1.6. Okay, so this is my 1.6 and I'll write there G2 at the top. All right, and it says you should close up this line. So you draw the line from there back like that. Have you seen that? All right, so once you're done with that, it says G2 to N1. This is your G2 now, right? To N1. Okay, G2 to N1. Okay, it says join with a straight line to the bust point, because this is your bust point at this point. So just join from this G2 to N1, connect it with a straight line. That's what I've done. Okay, so I just connected it with a straight line. Now once you're done with that, it says N1 to N2, square up 7.5 cm and move left 2 cm. So from N1, come up 7.5. 7.5, you mark it, and that is your N2. All right, and you're going to come out 2 cm. Place your straight line also. This is what I like doing. I just place a straight line on this line. That don't just make it like this. Make sure that the line of your ruler aligns with this line here. That's exactly what you're to do. And then you come out 2 cm. So I have 1, I have 2. That's it. And you mark your dot. Please don't make it straight like this. Follow the line. You know, that's the way it's going to be. So the next thing it says is G3 to N1. You know N1, you don't know G3, but it's coming up. If you look at your book, look at your figure, G3 to N1. It says square G3, measure G2 to N1. Measure G2 to N1. This line, this is a dot line. So you're measuring this dot line, all right? Measure G2 to N1 and use this measurement to draw a line from N1 up to G3 so as to complete the dot. Dot legs are always the same length, all right? So we're going to measure this and then we're going to draw a line. The line will pass from this N1 through this dot that you did here to wherever. That gives you your G3. So what I normally do, just measure your line. So what I have here is about 24.9. All right, that's what I have. I'm going to make sure I place this tape to touch this same line, pass through this dot that I did here. Have you seen it? That's how I'm placing my tape. This is my tape starting from here, passing through here to wherever it's ending to give me the same 24.9. Okay, so I'll place it, I'll slant it to pass through there, and I'll come here and mark where my 24.9 is here. Okay, I'll just confirm that again to be sure. Exactly. So you can also use your ruler to do that. So if you can see, my ruler is passing from here to that point. Okay, so that's going to be my G3. So I'll just draw it and I'll stop there. Here, have you seen that? And I'll write here G3. That is my G3. That's it. So the next thing it says is G to L2. So you have G here and you're now looking for L2. It says close the dot ending up in G2. So this is, remember that I told you that this is a dot. This is your dot now. So you're closing this dot. This is a dot. You're going to close this dot ending in G2 to G3 to be able to get your L. Remember this line that we drew. I said you should draw a line at this point. I just didn't want to make it too obvious. That is the line we're working with. So it says close the dot ending up in G2 to G3 and draw the shoulder line equal to the back. So whatever you have, you remember we had 12.5. So see what I'm going to do. Remember I said this is a dot. Now we're about closing that dot. It says we should close the dot. Just follow what I'm doing and that is it. All right, so I'm going to try close it from here as smooth as you can. Okay, have you seen? I've closed the dot. You can close it from whichever way, this way to this way, this way to this way. So the dot is closed. Now I'm going to mark down my same shoulder line on this line I made to get my shoulder back. Okay, so I'm going to take my tape, place it, and look for my 12.5 because that is what I have as my shoulder, but it has to stay on this line. Okay, so I'm bringing my tape down to this line that we did. All right, so this is my 12.5 on this line. So I've marked it. This is it on this line. So I'll just take my ruler while you're still closing your dot. Place it however it goes. Please don't worry. it is going to reshape this for you the way it's meant to be. Maybe I should just use another color so that you understand that part. Okay, so now I'm going to redraw it. Now this is it. So guys, that is my new shoulder line. If you do it, you're going to see that there's a space. The former one you drew is going to be here. You don't need that anymore. Discard that. The right one is now this one. This blue line is the right thing that you're going to use. So this is it. All right. So that means, let me redraw it so that you know where your dart is actually. So see, the ones are thickened, and you know that that is now the dart. Can you see that? And this is it. So you're going to discard the first one. This has actually corrected itself. That's it. So that is the dart now. The dark lines you're seeing, this one to here and this one. So this is no more part of it. This is not part of it. So that is what you have. So now let's just complete the armhole and the job is done. Okay. So the next thing it says is I to M. All right. Square up 5 cm. We have I. So we are just going up 5 cm. So take your tape, place this and mark your 5 cm. And it says go out M to M1. This is your M here. Okay. And it says M to M1. Move left 2 cm. So you're coming towards me now. 2 cm. 1, 2 cm. Okay, here. So you have your M. You take your ruler. You draw the line out straight. Please make sure it's straight. Okay, 2 cm. And this is your M1 at this point. So you have your M inside. You have your M1 on the outside. All right. So the next thing it says is with a curve, draw the armhole joining point C2, M1, L2. Don't forget that this is your L2 at this point. So you're joining C2, M1, and L2. Just take your curve, try to place it. It's going to fit in properly. See what I did? I just placed my curve to touch C2, to touch M, and to touch L2. So just keep moving your curve till it fits in. And once it fits in, you do that. That's it. So you have your armhole curve at that point. So we're done with that. So what's left now is to get our darts done. And also you're going to come down from L2, just come down and mark 9 inches at 9 cm, but please just 1 notch, because that's it. Just 1 notch. The back has 2 notches, the front has 1 notch. So we're done. We'll quickly sort out our dart. Okay? So now it says dart, D to R, you have D to R is equal measurement of N to N1. So whatever you have as N to N1, which is your bust distance divided by 2, 8.5, you come here also and make sure that you have 8.5. Okay, so I've marked it, and that is going to be your R. All right. So the next thing it says is R to R1 is perpendicular to D to D2. Just create your line. That is all. That's what that means. You just have a perpendicular line. That's it. And then it says from point N1 square down 2 cm from point N1, but I normally square down 4 to 4.5. So please don't square down 2 cm, square down 4 cm. All right. And that is going to be your R1 at that point. All right. Then it says square down 10 cm, and that will be your R2. So from here, you're going to come down 10 cm. Just make sure that you still have your 8.5 at that point. All right. Then try and place your tape and have the same thing. All right. So this is your R2. So it now says R to R3. All right. R to R3 1.5, R to R4 1.5 cm. So you place your tape mark 1.5, that's your R3, come this way 1.5, that's your R4. So you have your R3, you have your R4. Now close your dots. That is all. So we close our dots. Please, if you have questions, leave it for me in the comment section, and I'm never tired to explain this. All right, never tired. You want a private class with me on this, I'm there. Zoom, we'll go to Zoom, we'll get it done. You must understand this. All right, so that is it. And here is our center front, and the center front is also on fold. All right, it's also on fold. So you have your center front and is on fold. All right, so it's as easy as that. Okay, so you have your neckline, you have your armhole. This is the dart. If I don't want to work with the dart, I close it or I transfer it. So the next class we are going to be dealing with transfer of dart. We will copy this out, so I will show you that it's not confusing. We'll copy the front out as the front, we'll copy the back out as the back. That's the difference. Okay, that's just it. Where you see the red coming to is for the front is bigger than the back, and where you see the black is for the back. I'll show you how to mark it and copy it in our next class, but I mean, it's very easy. So these are the darts we will transfer to do anything. We can transfer this to the armhole, we can transfer this to the front, we can transfer this to the side, you know, and all of that. All right, so that will be our dart transfer. Okay, so I hope you actually learned one or two things in this class. And like I said, if you have questions for me, please leave it in the comment section down below. And once I get online, I will attend to it. And don't forget that we have our classes. If you're in Houston at the Kirkwood Bessonet Access, you can actually send me a DM for more details. And I'm there physically. And if you want a class with me on Zoom live or online, I mean, I'm always there available as well. Just send a DM and I will attend to that. My name is Nita, your physical and online instructor, and this has been Amakadel Fashion TV. So on the next class, or in the next class, we're going to be copying out. I'll show you how to copy out these patterns. Then we're going to do a little activity with it. It could be we'll make a top or we'll make something. Anyway, just let me know in the comment section what you think we should make. All right. It's been my pleasure, and don't forget to share my videos and subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, I'm always trying to do this so that you see my face at the end of class. So if you have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I appreciate all you're doing and sharing my video as well. God bless you. And if you haven't, please do subscribe. Help me grow. And my job is to teach you what I have in my head. I mean, it's over 10 years plus and more. So I have a lot to share. Okay. And don't ever find it difficult to ask questions. If you need me to give you answers, I'll definitely do that. All right. So guys, I will be seeing you in my next class. Bye.